welcome to Michael's Film Review. Today we will be reviewing Sahara, or however you want to pronounce it.
There we go. Oh, there's the barcode. Yes, I liked some of the African songs in this. Very catchy, and they're still, one of them is still in my head right now.
Well, that definitely shows that the music was something interesting. I enjoyed the music as well. I mean, I really felt it was very fitting, and yes, it was memorable.
Yeah. And I really love Steve Zahn.
I think it's Zahn.
I think he's really very good in it.
I agree. In fact, I would say that if I had to choose a favorite character, the character played by Steve Zahn would be my favorite. And that's maybe the second time I've seen him in something, and I always wonder what happened to him. Where did he go?
He went off to TV to do HBO's show set in New Orleans after the flood, and it's about music, about musicians in New Orleans. What did you think of Penelope Cruz?
Okay, Penelope Cruz, I'm not really sure how I feel about Penelope. I've only really seen her in one other thing so far as I'm aware. She has an interesting accent.
She's Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has a very interesting accent, and I thought she did well for the part that she was supposed to play.
Yeah, it's I don't know what to say actually. It's what you call decent.
Yes, it's decent.
It's not great. It's not, but she's just, I suppose,
she's just decent. I think that's why I'm not really sure what to think about her, is because she isn't really, outstanding. You don't really think, oh yes, Penelope Cruz, I remember her being in this movie. The only reason I know about it is because he brought it up and asked just now. Well, I mean, I knew it was Penelope Cruz when I was watching. I knew because I'd seen her in something else, but if you'd asked me to talk about the movie by myself, I would never have thought to mention her.
She's at the liberty of the script.
Yes.
At which they all are.
Oh, yeah.
And so the Steve Zahn character is
I think that if you'd swapped the places between Penelope and Steve Zahn, he still would have done an excellent character, and she still would have been just okay.
Right. So you reckon the actor? Yeah. That is true, isn't it?
Although it would certainly have been very entertaining to see.
I mean, think of it. Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan is able to work wonders with with what they thought was not so good dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty pathetic, but he did a fantastic job.
Clive Cussler.
Okay, it was based off of a book done by Clive Cussler, and I like reading books by Clive Cussler where they talk about his adventures of going and looking for old shipwrecks, but I do not really enjoy reading his fiction because, for me, it's just too predictable. It's just too easy a read. It's very, very obvious. The plot is extremely thin, or simple, or transparent. I don't know. It's just, I mean, one time I tried to read a Clive Cussler book, and I'd figured out the entire story simply by reading the prologue. And I realized I know there are people out there who say it's all about the journey, but for me, if it's supposed to be a mystery, which the book that I was supposed to be getting ready to read, was supposed to be a sort of mystery, then it should be a mystery, and it shouldn't be, oh yes, I know what happens, and I know what's going on. Now, that's why I like Agatha Christie.
Right.
Because I don't know what's going on. Sometimes I have to read a book, even if I have already previously read the book, and I'm reading it a second or third time. I get so involved in the story, I forget that I've already read it, and I'm making the same mistakes that I made previous times when I was reading it, trying to guess who did it.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, that's just my opinion of Clive Cussler.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Clive Cussler. I find the name amusing. Uh, um, I just was like, oh, it's another thing, you know, a possible Indiana Jones thing here, and it turned out it was kind of Indiana Jones and James Bond, and that was unexpected.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's
it
like
was a couple of former Navy men working as salvage operators. They hunted down lost ships and brought them up, or other lost items in the sea, and the character played by Matthew McConaughey, whose name is Dirk Pitt, which I think is a bizarre name, and it sounds wrong. And I'm not really sure why, but it does. But when he says that's his name, you're like, oh yes, of course, that's your name. It's perfectly believable when Matthew McConaughey said, "Oh, I'm Dirk Pitt," or Pitt. But
yeah, what did you think of Matthew McConaughey? Hey,
well, that's how I say it.
As an action hero.
I thought it was just hilarious. I mean, I didn't. It wasn't like I spent the entire thing completely unable to believe what he was doing, but I would be, oh yes, of course he was able to do that, but then at the same time I was like, this just looks silly. This looks funny. This is incredibly amusing.
Mm-hmm.